Hi, everybody. So today we are going to be looking at Chapter 5, which focused primarily on intercultural relationships. Um, and in the book, it really looked at how intercultural relationships affected communication between groups, and it looked how these groups can help flesh out some unknown prejudices and some societal prejudices that are occurring. So today I'm hoping to show you more of a real world application of looking at intercultural relationships around you and perhaps give you a couple questions to really think about. And those are going to be posted at the end of this presentation. So first, I'm going to go over some key terms from the book, and then I'm going to bring in something to take this idea of intercultural relationships and place it right where you are. I'll be bringing up a sociological study based on university life. So some of the key terms, I apologize if I mispronounce any of these. You have miscegenation, which is a mixed race relationship. This includes people from different races, sexualities, and so long as they're sharing a space together. Interracial is relationships that cross socially constructed racial groups. Interethnic, which is different than interracial, is a relationship between people who identify differently in terms of ethnicity or ethnic background. And interreligious is a relationship between people of two different religions or subcategories of a religion. Relational identity/culture is the system of understanding what is developed between relational partners as they coordinate attitudes, actions, and identities within and outside of the relationship. I also want to look real quick at intercultural friendships before we get into this little study that I found, so that we can understand a little bit better. So friendships require curiosity about one another. You have to be able to think about why someone reacts the way that they do in their culture, and rather than get angry about it, be curious and want to know more. It comes with many initial stereotypes, but it requires questioning and a lot of use of intercultural praxis that we saw at the beginning. And individualistic societies state that friendships are chosen, and collectivism societies state that friendships form out of group association. I mention this because depending on what society we're in, America, we're in a very individualistic society, your thoughts about friendship can change. So we're going to be looking at a study by Kazuro Kudo. The entire thing is called Development of Intercultural Relationships at University, a three-stage ecological and person in context conceptual framework. So essentially, it took these three stages of framework that are listed here, and it decided to ask the question, why does university life really promote this idea of friendships and intercultural friendships? And in past studies that either looked at individual ideas or environmental factors, and this study decided to look at both. There are two different propositions before they get into their final conclusion as to what they found. Proposition 1 states that development of intercultural relationships occurs at the experiential interface between environmental affordances and students' agencies. All right, let's put that into some real English here. Environmental affordances is a place that allows for intercultural relationships to form based on encouragement and exposure, while agency is the human will and capacity to change one's life course. So essentially at university, they're stating that all the different cultures coming together onto one campus is the environmental affordance. And students coming into this very vast cultural place that's all in one location, they have to change their agency to be able to allow for themselves to flourish in this new place with all these new cultures. That leads into proposition 2, which states the development of intercultural relationships is a cumulative and iterative process which involves the evolution of interactional foci along three stages of relationships. So the three stages to making the friendship are interactivity, reciprocity, sorry, I cannot say that word, and unity. So to put these in context, interactivity is all of us in this class get assigned to a group project. We work on it. Reciprocity is I decide that I'm going to become friends with one of you, and I ask you after the group project, hey, do you want to go study with me Friday nights in the library? And then unity is deciding, hey, we've been studying Friday nights for a really long time. Maybe you'd like to meet some of my other friends. Do you want to come hang out at the dorm room? It'd be pretty cool. Those are kind of the stages in the form of an example. The unity is the final one where you decide, yes, I want to be friends with this person. I apologize for this thing in the corner blocking some of the words. I can't take it away or I won't be able to stop this presentation. In this proposition, it takes the original ideas that relationships are linear, and it understands that relationships also overlap in segments. You can be at many different parts of a relationship at many different times. And it also takes into the account the relational identity of the two friends now in their space. So in conclusion, Kudo combined these two ideas to create the final idea for university life and how that allows for intercultural relationships to flourish. And he stated the development of intercultural relationships occurs at the dynamic experiential interface between environmental affordances and students' agency, both of which evolve along 3 stages of relationships. So, in a little better English, the environment, having all the different cultures come together on university campuses, makes students change what they believe and accept this new culture. And then through professors putting us in groups, through Greek life, having us join together with these people from other cultures, we start the first stage of this 3-stage relationship. And then hopefully from there we can cultivate these. But it's the environmental allowances and the student agencies that are particular to university life that really help to draw this out, because our guidance counselors, our professors, anybody on campus is really encouraging this melting pot of cultures on a campus. So these are some discussion questions for you here. I'm basically just asking, what kind of friendships have you been encouraged to form at Valpo? How have they opened your worldview? What have you learned from other cultures at Valpo? If you decide to read the study, the link is in the discussion thread. What concepts do you agree with? What thoughts could you add about how university life is a really unique place for forming intercultural friendships? And then this last one is more from the book, but they talked a little bit about segregating friendships. Do you believe that people can still segregate themselves and avoid intercultural friendships even when a university encourages them? These are just starting points for you to think about. Feel free to talk to me about the study, talk to me about anything you'd like. I really want to hear your ideas and your personal viewpoints about intercultural friendships, and perhaps even some of the wonderful friendships that you have made on campus. Thank you for taking a look at the presentation, and I hope you have a fabulous day.